Hey everybody, it's Sergio with the RideShare Guy. Before I get into the business of the video, please go to www.therideshareguy.com and sign up to our free newsletter and join us for our 100th Show Me the Money Club episode on Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do a lot of giveaways, cash, potentially dash cam, and bring you on and celebrate our major achievement of 100 shows in a row. With that said, today's video is going to be about Uber or Lyft. Which one is more transparent when it comes to pay? I'm going to have a clear winner as far as I'm concerned at the end of the episode. You guys may like it, disagree it, please comment below. So I did one trip on Lyft this week. Next week I'm going to do a lot more because they offered me a ride challenge, but that's a different video. So on this trip, booked miles were 13.81, 22 minutes booked. There's a lot of shaving going on there, but I've done videos about that when the trips go over, they don't adjust the fares up, but that's not about that today. So on this trip, passenger paid $28.86. Estimated external fees were $10.41. If you guys want to know what those are, you click the arrow. $10.31 went to commercial insurance, auto insurance, and other expenses. Of course, that insurance is not what it is. We've done a video with a lawyer. It's on the channel. There's about a couple of months ago, Lyft started offering something called an earnings guarantee, a 70-30 split after estimated external expenses, which vary from trip to trip, and we really don't know what it is. So on this trip, it seems like $10.41 commercial insurance and 10 cents government fee. So bulk of it, 99% of it, went to commercial insurance and other expenses. A lot of people call this hocus pocus. I kind of agree, just for the fact that that external fees are variable from trip to trip. $10 for a 22-minute and 13-mile trip, honestly, is ridiculous amount of commercial insurance that they're offering. And then there's the estimated Lyft fee. So if I look at this overall, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, rider paid $28.86. I received $12.36. That seems like I got 40%. Lyft got 60%. Lyft says, no, not so fast. We have to take our cost of doing business out first, which is $10.41, with the pass-throughs, credit card fees, and commercial insurance, auto insurance, and then we have a 70-30 split. Now, Lyft is not sharing in our cost of doing business, so I am not sure how valid it is when they call it a 70-30 guarantee. 70-30 guarantee on this trip for me would have been all the expenses were $10, meaning $28.86 was split 70-30. Meaning I got like $16, $17 and Lyft got $10, but that's open to interpretation. However, if you guys click on the gray box, it says right here, if I did this single trip, which I'm going to for demonstration purposes, it says Lyft's earnings commitment. You've earned 67% of passenger payments after estimated external expenses. If your earnings aren't at least 70% on April 1, 5 a.m., you'll get paid an adjustment. I think this is awesome. The passenger payments after external expenses were $18.45, which is correct, which is $28.86 minus $10.41. My earnings did not make it up to 70% as guaranteed. So, on this trip, according to Lyft, after expenses, they took 67%. My earnings were 67% instead of 70%. And Lyft fee was $609 at 33. So I'm going to expect to get 3% top up probably by Wednesday or Thursday for this trip, which will mean, I would say about another buck and a half. So this will be a $14 trip as opposed to a $12.36 trip. All the items are pretty self-explanatory. If you guys click on the eyes with the circle next to the item, and the down arrows will open new boxes for you for explanation purposes. So this is Lyft. I think this is pretty transparent. Now, you all can say that, why are we paying for their expenses? I understand, but they created the platform. It is what it is. However, this video is about transparency, explanation of things, being clear on things. You agree with the 70-30 split or not is not the issue. I called it actually on Show Me the Money several times. I said, before you all knew or were thinking you were getting screwed, now you know you're getting screwed, but at least they're explaining it to you how they're screwing you. So let's look at an Uber trip. This could be done through the app on your website. First of all, Uber starts with showing you guys the period 3, which is with the butt in the back seat part of the trip after the trip ends. I think it's less transparent. I like what Lyft is doing. In one box, they have the estimate. In the other box, after the trip ends, the actual, so you can actually see how much more time and miles you're driving. On this one, not that much, unless you take a screenshot of the pink screen when the offer is coming in. So here it is, really not that much. You can click the down arrow, but it repeats the same thing, honestly. And then you can scroll down to more details. This is where Uber shows a little bit more transparency in the Uber service fee summary. Customer paid $12.96 for this trip. Third party and operational expenses. In California, we have Proposition 22, so that's 79 cents on each trip I give. The consumer is paying for Prop 22, not Uber and Lyft, so don't misunderstand that. Other expenses, such as commercial auto insurance, again, $3.93 for a 9-minute, 3-mile trip. I mean, over $1 a mile. I'm not sure what's happening there, but we're digging into the commercial insurance part. Then they take out $567, which were my earnings, and then they say, okay, passenger paid $12.96. Uber took only $2.47. I'm not buying that whatsoever, just like in Lyft's case, right? Why should, something by law you have to provide drivers, which is commercial auto insurance for period 1, 2, and 3, and we know how many holes there are in that product, starting with a $2,500 deductible. But again, it's about transparency. So on this trip, according to the way I'm looking at it, is rider paid $12.96. I received $5.67. Let's say 13 to 5.5. Uber took 65%. I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. I don't know how you guys are looking at it. But again, it's about transparency. And then you have these small print, obviously, with Uber. There's nothing else to explain. They think this is transparent enough. I'm saying Lyft is far superior. So, as far as the verdict, I'm going to go with Lyft. Extremely transparent as far as where all the dollars are going. What I would prefer is the external fee breakdown, more of it, right? But both companies are doing basically the same thing. They're taking their expenses out first and then giving, at least on Lyft's case, they're giving you a 70-30 split. In Uber's case, it could be 80-20, it could be 50-50. It depends on the trip, it depends on the time, it depends on the algorithm's flavor of the day that day. So, what do you guys think? For me, Lyft by far is the more transparent company. I am not talking about fairness. I'm not talking about pay. I'm not talking about anything else other than transparency. I think Lyft breaks this down amazingly well. Uber, not so much. Uber is just goes, hey, this is how it is. We're going to make you think that our take rate is really, really low, and we're going to go with that. And according to Uber, by the way, on this trip, Uber only made like 15% because they take all those expenses out and my payout, and then they go, well, rider paid $12.96. Our service fee, which is what we made, is $2.47. I'm not buying it at all. On Lyft's case, a lot more transparency. Like I said, both companies are screwing you. One company is clearly, transparently telling you this is what's happening. The other company is just hiding. So for me, Lyft, clear winner when it comes to transparency. Again, it's our 100th show, Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Show Me the Money Club. Please join us. Let's celebrate all the good things we've done. And we're going to bring a lot of audience members on and talk to them individually. So you all stay healthy and be safe.